Welcome back into our show. This segment of our program brought to you by Stern AG. Young families, now is the time to prepare for the cost of your child's education. Stern AG can help you do that, help you put together a financial plan that makes sense for your income, helps you secure your money that you'll need to pay for the growing college costs in the years ahead. Every week we talk about that, and every week I mention that, and I get a look from Jimmy Himes nodding in agreement about those college costs. Stern AG, give them a shout. All right, guys, going to do 3 real quick questions, one for each of you. Chuck, I'm going to start with you. You've got about 45, 60 seconds to answer, okay? Ohio State won the national championship this week. They wouldn't have even been in the old BCS title game. Right. In terms of entertainment value, getting it right, what you saw, what you didn't like, scale of 1 to 10, what grade do you give the college football playoff?
I can't give it any lower than a 10.
Wow.
Because, I mean, it ended up, as we've talked about, I think it was the 3 highest rated programs in cable television history. What I like is number 4 beat number 1, and then number 4 beat number 2. You had 28 million viewers for the semifinals, 33 million viewers for the championship. I like the fact that you're already gaining momentum for an 18 playoff. I really do. So, I mean, I give it a 10.
And I would just like to say this, that next year when everyone inevitably starts getting on that Oregon bandwagon, count me out. I've had enough of the Ducks. They're frauds, all right? And can you tell I wanted them to beat Ohio State? Jimmy, since 2003, this is absolutely remarkable. I don't know that you've ever had 2 coaches do this in a span of a generation. This may be the first ever. Since 2003, Nick Saban has 4 national championships at 2 different schools. Urban Meyer has 3 national championships at 2 different schools. That's 7 between them at 4 different schools. That's insane. That's unheard of. Who's the better coach?
That's a close call because both of them are great coaches. You got Saban with the 4 championships you talked about. 1 won at LSU and 3 at Alabama. Urban Meyer did a really good job at Bowling Green, and he won at a higher level at Utah. He won at an even higher level at Florida, and now he's winning at a high level at Ohio State. I'm going to go with Urban Meyer, and here's why. I don't think Saban ever overcame the adversity that Meyer had to this past year and going through 2 other quarterbacks, getting to a 3rd quarterback to win a national championship. The other part of that equation is Urban Meyer's record against rival teams is better than Nick Saban's. I'm going to go with Urban Meyer.
Hard to argue. I mean, they're both great coaches, obviously, but you make a really good point. I think the 3 quarterbacks in 1 year, there aren't many coaches that could have done that anywhere, anytime.
Don't you think Nick Saban has lost a little bit of the luster since the field goal attempt against Auburn? I mean, if you look at since then,
and still in the playoffs.
I know, but
I mean, he only had 2 losses. But a lot of people said the dynasty is over. I don't think it's quite over yet, but we'll see.
I don't either.
All right, Josh. The Power 5 conferences, including the SEC, voted yesterday. They've got autonomy now. They voted yesterday. They are going to start giving full cost of tuition scholarships to student athletes. That could be up between $2,000 to $4,000 annually, based on there's like a federal regulation there as to what you can give, but it's $2,000 to $4,000 depending on the school. Is this a good thing for college sports or a bad thing?
I think it's a good thing, and I think it's a pretty big step into the future of what we're going to see. We're going to see more conversation. I also thought a big part of the decision, or just going through this process, is you have athletes that have a say. You had an 80-person panel. 15 of those people were athletes, and they were able to speak out publicly on what their opinion was and then vote on it. I think in the past we've seen athletes sometimes through the media talk about it, but often be uncomfortable. Yep. Now they have a voice. It wasn't just football or basketball players either. You had other sports involved.
Yep. Thumbs up, thumbs down, literally.
Long overdue to me.
Okay.
I think so. But when the prices for tickets go up, don't complain.
Along with the prices for tuition.
Because it's coming. All right. We showed you the numbers. We talked about the injuries. When we come back, we'll tell you whether or not we think, and I'm sure he's paying attention, we'll tell you we think if Peyton Manning should retire or come back on the Sports Source.
Like our set? Turn to Benedict Construction.